Have you ever felt trapped? Pinned between an impossible situation and a force you couldn't hope to overcome? It's a feeling of utter helplessness, a moment where faith is all you have left. Today, we're diving into one of the most breathtaking stories ever told, a tale of desperation, divine intervention, and ultimate deliverance, the parting of the Red Sea. This isn't just an ancient legend. It's a story that speaks to the core of the human experience, reminding us that even when all seems lost, a path can appear where there was none before. Let's set the scene. Imagine the dust, the heat, the cries of hundreds of thousands of people. The Israelites, after generations of brutal slavery in Egypt, are finally free, led by a man named Moses. They are marching toward a promised land, a future they could only dream of. But their journey is far from over. As they travel, a scout returns with terrifying news. The Pharaoh, consumed by regret and rage at losing his entire slave workforce, has changed his mind. Picture this. The sound of thunder isn't from a storm, but from the pounding hooves of horses and the rumble of chariot wheels. Pharaoh's army, the most formidable military machine of its time, is in hot pursuit. 600 of his finest chariots, plus countless other soldiers, are bearing down on the fleeing Israelites. The Israelites are not soldiers. They are families, men, women, children, and elderly, burdened with whatever possessions they could carry. They are exhausted, vulnerable, and now utterly terrified. They reach the edge of a vast body of water, the Red Sea. In front of them, an impassable sea. Behind them, the vengeful Egyptian army, closing in fast. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The people cry out, their newfound hope turning to despair. Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? They lament to Moses. It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. It's a raw human reaction. Fear can make us forget the miracles we've already witnessed. In this moment of supreme crisis, all eyes turn to Moses. He must be feeling the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders. But instead of panicking, he stands firm. He turns to the terrified crowd and delivers one of the most powerful declarations of faith in history. Do not be afraid. Stand firm and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Imagine the courage it took to say those words, to command people to be still when every instinct screamed to run. Then God gives Moses a simple yet profound instruction. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground. Moses obeys. He lifts his staff, stretching his hand out over the roaring sea. What happens next is the stuff of legend. A mighty east wind begins to blow. It doesn't just push the water back a little. It howls all through the night, a relentless supernatural force. The water begins to part, piling up on either side like two colossal liquid walls. Where there was once a raging sea, a wide path of dry ground appears. Can you even fathom seeing that? The seabed, which had never seen the light of day, is now a highway of salvation. Hesitantly at first, then with growing confidence, the Israelites step onto the dry seabed. They walk between the walls of water, a sight that must have filled them with both awe and terror. All night long, this massive procession of people and livestock makes its way across the sea floor, guided by the pillar of fire that had been leading them. This divine light moves behind them, creating a barrier of darkness for the Egyptians, concealing the miracle that is unfolding. As dawn approaches, the entire Egyptian army, blinded by their pursuit, charges into the same dry path. They see their prey escaping and follow them into the heart of the sea. But their chariots, designed for firm ground, get stuck in the mud. The wheels clog, chaos ensues, and panic sets in among the once invincible soldiers. They realize they are not fighting against a band of slaves. They are fighting against God himself. "Let's get away from the Israelites," they cry. "The Lord is fighting for them against Egypt." But it's too late. Once the last Israelite is safely on the other side, God gives Moses his final command for this encounter. "Stretch out your hand over the sea, so that the waters may flow back over the Egyptians and their chariots and horsemen." Moses once again stretches out his hand, and at daybreak, the sea returns to its normal state. The walls of water collapse. The full unstoppable force of the Red Sea crashes down upon the entire Egyptian army. Not one of them survives. As the sun rises, the Israelites stand on the far shore, looking back at the sea. They see the bodies of their former masters washed up on the shore. The threat is gone. The army that had terrified them for generations is utterly destroyed. They are truly, finally, free. The fear that had gripped them is replaced by overwhelming awe and gratitude. They understand the immense power and love of the God who has just saved them. This incredible event wasn't just about escape. It was a profound lesson in faith and trust. When the Israelites were at their most helpless, trapped with no way out, they were commanded to stand still and witness God's salvation. The path forward didn't come from their own strength or ingenuity. It came from a source far beyond their understanding. The parting of the Red Sea is a powerful symbol that even when we face our own impossible seas, a way can be made. It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest act of courage is to be still and trust that a power greater than our problems is at work. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey back in time. If this story moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest stories ever told. What does the Red Sea crossing mean to you? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stand firm and have faith.